Okay, we're live. We're here. Stephanie, you there?
Woohoo! Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So, just for everyone watching, Stephanie's the image or the video feed is a little bit grainy because she's in BFE, right? You're in rural America, and you had to get a satellite dish put into your what on your house or in your on your land somewhere so you could even get internet enough to feed something like this. Yeah.
But hey, you do what you got to
do. So where specifically are you? Just so everyone watching can know.
I am in the Four Corners. I am in southern Colorado, Durango, Colorado.
Okay, cool. And you're like, you were telling me like the county size that you're in is like something real small, like 17,000 people or something.
Yep, we have 17,000 people here. And when the weather gets harsh, it drops off to more like probably 12,000 because we have a lot of people who own second and third homes here. They go somewhere else when it's not nice weather.
That makes sense. So then I just want to tell a story before we kind of jump in and talk about kind of your road and your travels through the JK land. But back in January, you had a really big month. And we talked about, I was like, hey, let's do a case study. Let's talk about it. And you were like, well, I have a 12-year-old computer and it actually doesn't stream video at this point. And I think I was like, well, what about like your cell phone? We could do it on your cell phone. You're like, well, the cell service is horrible. And so it's just like funny because, you know, you have so many things kind of stacked against you to the normal person. You know, I hear so much from people, you know, 2,200 people in Job Killing, and you hear, you know, well, this didn't work perfectly, or the heat in my room wasn't warm enough, so I couldn't do that. I couldn't prospect some, whatever. You mean just the biggest garbage, right? And then I talked to someone like you who has like a $18,000-$19,000 month in January of this year, and you have horrible cell service, your internet's spotty, you have a 12-year-old computer, and you're in a town or a county of 17,000 people that probably in January was 12,000 people, and you're rocking it out. So I want to just say before we even get started, it's freaking awesome. Put all those excuses to the side because Stephanie's proven that they don't really freaking matter, right?
You can overcome if you want to.
Yeah, I
you know,
solve problems, right? Don't make them.
Be a problem solver. I mean, they were speed bumps for sure, but my 19,000 that month, yep. You think I didn't go out and buy a brand new computer with that money? Hell yeah, I did. And I spent money on improving the internet at my house, you know?
So did you have like
I don't have
give us a background, like you started in Job Killing in September of 2015, yeah?
Right.
Is that right? Did I lose you?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So September 2015, and then kind of walk us through like a little bit of the journey, right? So did you have a background on had you ever done anything online? Had you ever done anything like this? Like how did you run into us? Kind of give us a little background on the whole situation.
Honestly, in September, I had been out of work for 2 months. I was working in the mortgage industry. And the bank that I worked for, they were, you know, long story short, I won't bore everybody, but they decided they're going to build a building. And so cutting out certain things to free up their budget to build their new bank. And I was one of the new hires. I'd only been there like 6 months, and they decided to cut the fat, and I was part of the fat they cut. Anyway, so I got laid off, and I'm standing there going, you know, WTF, you know? You know, I've got a family, I've got little kids, and I mortgage. I actually have 5 mortgages because we have rental properties and stuff. But, you know, to realize that somebody else had control over my destiny, that really sucked. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, shorten it up, I wanted to be able to stay home and be able to be a wife, be a mom, but I am business driven. Mm-hmm. I can't sit and do nothing. So I really wanted to find something that I could do from home that was good money. I don't want to do piecework and crap like that. And I don't I don't do multi-level marketing. I had so many people hit me for that. I was supposedly great in sales and stuff. So, but I didn't want to do any of that. And I was snooping around for something that I could do at home. And so I was looking at flex jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at flex jobs, you know, being maybe a virtual assistant. I looked at doing insurance online because I'm licensed in 2 states for insurance as well. I have my license and everything. Anyway, I was looking into that, and then I came across a post that Jeremy Page had out there. It was a blog,
Mm-hmm.
and it was talking about, and he was talking about Empower Network, and I was like, I wonder what that is. And then when I looked into Empower Network, I'm like, whoa, that looks like multi-level marketing, not my deal. But his blog was really interesting. The stuff that he was saying. And then at the very end of that, of Brad sitting by the pool out there in Arizona, and he's just a regular guy with some ingenious concepts. And it really rung the bell for me as he's talking about, hey, results first, you know, give results up front, and then get then ask for money. And something about that felt really good. I'm like, you know what, that would be easy to sell, results in advance, you know. Sure. I really like that. Anyway, and then there's another video, and then I went on this tailspin. I watched a video of Brad out in Arizona, and then I watched this video of Dan talking about his car sales career and getting let go out of that. And then I'm like, okay, there's somebody I can relate to. I just got let go. Yeah. And what the hell, you know? So I went through that little journey there, and then I got alone and I talked with, was it Bill Simon? Is that right? But I
Simon Smith? Simon Smith, maybe?
Yeah. Anyway, and another totally cool person. You know, It wasn't hardcore sales, but it was, this is how it goes. This is what it's about. It's going to be work. It won't happen overnight, and it's all up to you.
Yep. So then you got, I know, totally.
So nobody.
It's and that's kind of the style. Like we're, you know, even these videos, you know, we need to say, like, you know, are the people that are watching, are you Stephanie? No. Are you Dan? No. Are you Simon? Are you Brad? No. I mean, you got to be able to take and learn the skill sets that we give you and the concepts that we're training you, and then you got to put it into work. I mean, you can't just sit on your thumb and think that the money's going to flow through. And we want to be so clear with people about that up front, and not be the typical click 3 buttons and $1 million comes flowing through your computer screen while you're on a beach in Tahiti, because that ain't ever going to happen in anything. And if you're searching for that and you're watching this video, we surely aren't the right guys for you. And I know Stephanie will tell you that, because we will beat on you while we coach you and train you inside the program to get to work, because that's the name of the game, I believe. But so you start in September, you kind of get things going. You've never really done anything online before. You got all these things kind of stacked against you. And then in January, and I'm sure people watching this have seen, you know, some of our other student case studies, Corey Long, you end up reaching, and this is to me, this is a great story, because it shows you that this group, this program that we've created, this coaching program, is a lot bigger than Brad and I now. It's a lot bigger than the concepts that we proved ourselves and then brought. It's like we proved it. We've trained other people. Now some of these people are having fantastic results. You get into the program, you're kind of moving along, learning the skill sets, and you reach out to one of our other students who's having some great results and take it from there. You reach out to Corey Long, great guy. We had him speak in Vegas, knows his stuff, is killing it in the business. What happens in January?
So in January, I decide, you know what, I'm going to message this guy. I had looked at a number of his posts. I asked what kind of him do. And you know, you want to go to the person who's doing better than you are. I don't want to just go to another student where we're all struggling at the same level. I want to go to someone who's smarter than me, has more experience than me. So anyway, I thought, you know what would it hurt? I'm going to message the guy, you know? So I decided, you know what do I want to know the most? And so I shot him a very short message. I messaged him and said, hey, blah, 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 made my question really short, to the point, and I made sure that it wasn't something that's already in the friggin' training. Otherwise, he's going to blow me off and be like, here's another idiot that is too lazy to go through all the training, and I'm not going to talk to her because she's wasting my time. I didn't want to be that person, so I shot him a quick, concise question and said, "What?" And like 5 minutes later, I got the little bling. I had a message, and it was like from Corey, and I felt myself like start to sweat. It was like, oh my God, you know, he's talking to me. Oh my God, what does he say? You know, so and then he took some time with me. We had several exchanges, and to the point where he finally just said, you know, where do you live? And I told him where I live. And he said, if I were you, I would pick this, this, and this niche, or all of them, and I'd get busy. You pump it out now. Go do that right now. And I said, okay, but, you know, I hate the cold calling thing. You know, I hated that in mortgage lending. I hated it in insurance. I'm not comfortable with that.
I hate it. I mean, I'll tell you what, I freaking hate cold calling.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he goes, I said, what do I say, Corey? You know, how do you open the conversation? And he goes, as Stephanie, you are overcomplicating this. Be a normal person. Just be a regular person. Call up and say, do you take referrals? That is the best opener conversation for anybody in JK. Hey, you take referrals? Because immediately they're going to say, well, yeah, what's up? You know, so it is the beautiful lead into a conversation. And then I just got to be bubbly me. I just got to be me and say, what's going on? Do you want to get, you know, I was able to educate the client on the phone call. Anyway, long story short, Corey simplified it for me. He's done it before. And the last thing I wanted to do was give him a bunch of excuses about why I couldn't do that, why I couldn't. So I said, okay, I will do that. I'm going to get busy right now. Bye. And I hung up, got out of his face. I did exactly what he said to do. And then like 3 days later, I've got movement going on the website. I have actual movement. I did a Google AdWords campaign, started getting customers there. And that built my excitement and my enthusiasm. And then I ended up going into a Facebook community garage sale group. And I posted a message in there saying, hey, who wants to do more of this winter? And bombarded by private messages from people in the online community garage sale group, bombarding me saying, I want to do it, la, 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 la. So now I am on the phone all day long, interviewing people and narrowing it down to who am I going to work with? Who am I going to send work to? Anyway, my interaction pivotal. He kept it really simple and told me to slough off all that extra stuff because I kept saying, well, what if? And he's like, so what if? You'll overcome that when you get to it. Anyway, working with a mentor is huge. And I was too intimidated to reach out to you or to Brad because I figured these guys are so friggin' busy doing their work. Why are they even going to talk to me? You know? And so that's why I reached out to somebody else in the group, and he responded, and he was very receptive. And then when I started having success, he was like getting excited. He's like, so how was today? How did today go? And that really fueled the fire for me. So awesome. Now I am really, I think everybody's pretty much hitting Corey up now at this point because everybody wants to learn how to do the $5,000 a month jobs. You know, they want to learn the big stuff, and I do too.
I think with the Corey stuff, like, I mean, he's such a good guy. I'm getting a big feedback from the computer. It's like coming through the speakers and reverbing back to me. I'm not sure. It never was doing it before. I don't know if you could turn the speakers down.
You know what? Am I talking too loud?
No, I don't think you're talking too loud. Oh, now I think we're good now. I'm not getting the reverb anymore, so I think we're good. Yeah, what I was gonna say was, yeah, I think Corey's gonna kind of do some like little internal groups inside Job Killing and stuff like that, so he doesn't get hit up by the masses. But I think even greater than that, like I want to focus kind of like on, obviously two things I think that people on the outside should looking in is like there's so many people, even you now, like the new person coming into Job Killing. They see you on this video, they're going to reach out to you and you're going to give them some sound advice, because the same advice Corey gave you, I gave to him, probably 6, 8, 10 months prior when he joined Job Killing. And it's like, and this is the thing that you said to me earlier that I loved that people need to hear is like, look, success leaves clues. Like if something worked for Dan and then he taught it to Corey, and then Corey taught it to Stephanie, and the success keeps kind of going down this pike. Stop trying to overcomplicate everything, right? Stop trying to reinvent the wheel when it could be something as simple as reaching out to you, a new JK member who sees this video, who knows, wow, Stephanie had a $19,000 January. What was the big secret, Stephanie? And you're going, well, it was just this. It was get out of your own way. Stop focusing on the fear and do this, 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 and this, and go do it right now. You know what I'm saying?
It really was that simple.
Yeah. So I think like now let's kind of fast forward, and let's talk about a couple different things. Let's talk about what happened today, because you messaged me this morning glowing. Talk to us about today. What happened?
Today was a phenomenal. I made $3,000 by 9 o'clock this morning. And that's when I was messaging you. You had said, hey, I need 10 minutes before we can get on our case study here. I need 10 minutes. And I'm like, hey, I'm good. Because I'm messaging you while I'm closing a client. I'm on the phone and I'm worried because I'm like, damn, what if Dan calls while I'm still on the phone with this client? I'm in the middle of my close. So I'm texting you saying, me too. I'm 10 minutes late too. I'm good. But what I was busy doing is I was actually closing 2 deals, and they're not huge deals. But what ended up happening is one gentleman that I sent a lead to yesterday, he was really jacked about the job I sent him yesterday. And the feedback from the client he interacted with, she was talking about how, hey, I just want you to know I was really impressed with your website, and I was really impressed with your customer service. And so now he's calling back. He blew up my phone yesterday, texting me. He's like, I want to see the website that you're getting your customers from. Can I see it? I want to see it. So I texted him back saying, here's a link to the website. If you want to talk and move forward, then you better be available for a call tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I'm busy. Mm-hmm. Will you take my call at 8 o'clock? He's like, I'll make time. I will be on the call. Anyway, so 8 o'clock this morning, I'm on the phone with the client. I did exactly what sales outlines from the reload. I educated the client about what I actually do and how much value I'm bringing to his business. I wasn't saying, hey, man, I'm going to get you ranked on Google, and I'm going to. I didn't do that. I put it in layman's terms. Showed him where he's missing the boat on several things. He's not being represented, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, turns out he owns 2 businesses. And now he's like, wow, I need you to do this for my other business too. So what's the process? And then I outlined my process and I closed him. And so I walked away with $3,000 upfront and $1,000 a month. That's not a lot of money. That's not a Corey Long deal. But it's what I can do right now until I move into the skill level and into the niches that Corey's into.
Well,
and so I'm going to keep.
Hold on a second. It's $15,000 a year that you did before 9 a.m. today. So let's not like, I get it, right? I get it. But like, it's something A, to be proud about. B, it's not necessarily a small deal when you look at it in its entirety. And the other thing I'll say to you, I've had clients for 8 years now, okay? And you look at $1,000 or a $2,000 a month deal, and a lot of people look at everything, what is it right now? And it's like, well, it's just $2,000, right? Or $2,000 a month, right? And then you don't tend to think, well, what is that 8 years later? I did all the work today, or I did all the work last week, and I put all this time into it, and now I'm collecting rent month in and month out. And 8 years from now, you're 15 hours of work or 10 hours of work and this phone call with this gentleman today could be worth, $100, $200, $300,000. I have one project that I've been close to paid $400,000. I haven't logged into it in over 6 years. And I look at that, and so I know I get the elephant hunting and the whale hunting, but dude, catching trout and salmon freaking can get you real fat. It can get you real fat by just catching trout and salmon. So, I think it's something to be proud of, number one. And it's also something that you got to look out and say, man, I could have these clients for the next 10, 15 years. And what's that rental? I mean, you said earlier on the call, you and your husband own rental properties. Look at how much money has to go into a rental property, whether it's $100,000, $200,000 to get $1,000 in rent every month, plus all the upkeep and the mortgages and the interest and all that garbage. We're in a very unique business in the fact that we can literally develop virtual property for next to nothing. I mean, let's be honest. It's, maybe a couple $100 you put into these properties, and now you're sitting over here renting it out for $1,000 a month plus $3,000 up front. That's freaking stupid awesome. So, don't beat yourself down because it's not $45,000 a month. Like, I've never done a $45,000 a month deal, and I doubt I ever will, but $1,000 a month is freaking excellent,
Yeah, I am happy. Thank you. But what you're just saying about, digital property, it's interesting that you say that, because in my conversation today, because I'm much more confident now about what I'm doing than I was when I first started out. But I heard myself tell this guy, because he's like, okay, so basically I'm going to buy the website from you for $1,500 per website. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't sell websites. That's not what I do. I said, actually, you own your auto glass business, you own the building, you own the glass, I own my digital asset, and that's my website. I will own the website. You are enrolling in a partnership, and you're putting money into the partnership for my time and effort in creating my tool, and I will own. Yeah, and you know what? He got it. I told him, I said, your truck, if we part company, you're going to keep your truck. If we part company, I'm going to keep my website.
Perfect. Simple.
And he's like, I get it. Okay.
Simple, easy to understand. I think people we've talked about this, before we went live. We just talked about the overcomplication that people, complicate this business up. They get in their own way. They start worried about, well, what if he says this, or what if he says that, or whatever. But sometimes just simplifying it down. And I love how you did that, of saying, listen, if we part ways, you keep your truck, you keep your business, you keep your whatever, and I keep what I did, and it's my asset. This is my asset. And so, for me, I deal with people every day who are skeptical about job killing. The name probably doesn't help anything. I mean, whatever. I love the name, but it also doesn't help. It doesn't help the skeptics out there, and that's fine. What would you say? I mean, for someone, because you had no background on the web, what would you kind of speak to the skill set of what you learned in job killing for the skeptics? Because I feel like the skeptics generally overcomplicate what we do. And I don't think it's that difficult what we do. I know it's a skill set that we learn, but how would you speak to them?
As far as the skill set goes,
yeah,
I think the
how tangible it is.
I think that if you are truly open to being trainable and open to learning something new, you can do job killing. But, I had somebody in the group reach out to me before they actually got involved in the group. And they said, is this for real? They said it on the public Facebook group. They were checking you out, basically, Dan. They're like, I talked to Dan today, and he was really trying to close me and this and that. And he was telling us students are making blah, blah, blah. Is this for real? I mean, how are you doing in job killing? And this was somebody who reached out to me. I think it might have been February. I think it was February. It was right after my most phenomenal month. I made $19,000 the prior month. and she asked me if this works.
Mm-hmm.
And I replied to her, I said, you know what? This is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Job killing does work, but you have to absolutely be disciplined. You can't be screwing around in the Facebook group, posting and making friends. That's not what this is about. This is about skill set and learning more every single day. And I told her, do not be in the face group all day long. Only go to face group at the end of your day when you have a question about something that came up in training. That's what I learned to do, because Facebook is a time sucker.
Huge.
And it's pushing taking your dollars, it's pushing your dollars farther and farther away from you. So I told her, I said, stay out of the Facebook group unless you have a question or you want to join a link circle or something like that, but stay out of the Facebook. Don't spend time doing that, and pick one element of job killing that you're going to do and stick with it until the end. And I told her, there's so many things in job killing that can make you money, from Game Changer to doing SEO to just building websites to doing profit sharing. There's so many angles in job killing that the mind can get flustered with. There's so many shiny things within job killing that now your energy's split out. All these, they're not finishing anything, and that's not going to pay you. So I told her, focus on one thing. Stay out of the Facebook group. Do your training, rinse and repeat. And then once you find success, stay with that thing and continue to do it. I'm getting Facebook messages. Okay. So anyway.
Get off Facebook. Take your own advice. Come on now.
Get off Facebook. People, be working the thing. But the other thing I would tell a new job killer too is that as long as you are trainable and you can follow simple instructions and you have the courage to ask questions and be a troubleshooter, overcome problems. That's what being in business is about. You overcome problems, you brainstorm and get over the problems. Do those things, find your route of success, and then stay with that route, stay the course until you feel fluid and good about that before you branch off. Because, I did Game Changer and I did, SEO, and I did just custom websites, but I didn't finish anything. My energy was too spread out.
Yeah,
I would tell people, focus on one aspect.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm done.
I was just going to say, I think that, all of us go through this, I don't come from a web background. And so you kind of have to go through a little bit of what you're talking about, of kind of bouncing through a couple of these different things and learning your strengths and your weaknesses and your one thing before you can completely zero in on the way you're going to approach the business. We teach 5-6 different monetization strategies for students because we know everyone's not wired exactly the same, and that the model can shift and move, and people have taken all 5 of those, 6 of those strategies and went their way based on their personality types. Surely you have a personality type that is very bubbly and outgoing, and then there's the more like the Brads in the group that are they're more the introverted, and they're going to take a different approach, right? And that's why I love doing these interviews, because it shows the different types of people and how the skill set is still the crux of everything. Like, you have to first learn the skill. And so that's, to me, hopefully the people that watch this interview and listen to you, they can take the understanding that this isn't something, like I said earlier, that you're just going to plug into and it's a system and everyone just pops out the other end and it's great. It's like hard work. You got to learn a new skill. And at the end of the day, skills pay the bills in life. Whether you're a heart surgeon, you went through, 12 years of schooling and you make $500,000 and you got a very unique skill set that's very lucrative, or you're the freaking guy that mows my lawn and you said, I'm going to learn how to push metal, and that's as much as I'm going to produce my skills. No wonder you get freaking paid $12 an hour, man. Skills at the end of the day pay the bills. And so the person that's watching job killing, is this for real? Is this whatever it is? I say to those people, guys, if you can't see that there's a skill set involved with helping a business generate leads from the web, this ain't for you. If you can't see that before even getting on the phone with any of the guys at Job Killing, this ain't for you. You have to be at least able to see the vision like any business. You wouldn't go buy a Subway franchise if you didn't understand that people eat sandwiches. Are you sure Subway's not legit or not? Well, dude, yeah, I see that people eat sandwiches. Now I still got to get the sandwiches in front of the people and take the money and do all the things, right? But you still got to have, in this business, you got to be willing to commit to the skill set like you have. And in the beginning, it's going to be a lot of new stuff sent your way, but stick with it, hard work, and then finding your one thing and rinsing, repeating, like you were saying, I think are huge takeaways for this. And I think we're going to push this into the actual Job Killing mastermind group in the Facebook group, because I want people to hear what you're saying to them, because I think it will resonate with the person that's a month or two in, that's still trying to find their way, who might be very similar to you in nature. That's why I love these things. I think it can, just a few words you've said to me, I think can be it. The delivery is going to be different to maybe some other students or some other people on the outside looking in. So any other things, I guess, words of advice for either people in Job Killing or people on the outside looking in to Job Killing that you would give, as a person that's now been in it for almost a year in, any crucial words of advice that you want to give?
I've already said them. The primary ones is, join in the JK Facebook group. It's a time sucker, and it's going to take you off into Pandora's box. Don't let the time suckers get you. Stay the course on what you chose to do, but continue to put yourself through training. When I started the program, Job Killing 2.0 had just begun, just been launched, to the point where it was still there, and 2.0 was coming in piece by piece. And I was learning 2.0. I never even looked at 1.0. I started learning 2.0 piece by piece. But even 2.0 has been revised and sweetened since I started. Can do training, and like at the stage that I'm at right now, I'm at the point where I want to take Job Killing to the next level. And that means that I am going to have to go into extended training. It was a big mistake for me as a newbie to focus on just percentage based. I think I got kind of greedy because I realized, wow, one roof can yield me $3,000 off of one roof. If it's 10% of that, I get $3,000. So I was like, wow, there's the money. Let's go for that. That was actually a big mistake, because it takes too long for percentage deals to pay out between the time that they do the estimate, they book the work, they do the work, they get paid, or chase the payment down. There's too much lag time. So I was diversifying. I needed to do something more hybrid, like what you were saying. Say, look, at the beginning of each month, I need a flat rate to maintain the amount of work that I'm doing. And then I'm going to reduce that percentage of profit share to be a little smaller, a little more attractive to you. But we need to structure it this way. I should have been doing that all along, because the problem with doing percentages is they have predictable income. I make good money in Job Killing. Since January, I hit $52,000 last week from January to now. But you know what? It has sucked. I mean, it's good money, but it sucked that I can't predict when I'm going to get paid. So now I want to do Corey's program, but I can't commit because my money is not predictable. So now I realize I want flat rate deals, because I want that passive income that I can run a budget on. So now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to feel more disciplined on 50% of my time will be prospecting. 50% of my time will be building out websites or delegating those duties to someone else. Right. And I think that the new job killer needs to keep those things in mind, because when you come into this, you need to kill your job. You need to replace your predictable income already. Don't do what I did. Percentage deals, they're sweet when they pay, but you have to wait too damn long. And then you feel like it's not worth it. And then you worry the whole time, is that guy going to pay me at all? Is he screwing me over? Do I have to worry about that? So it's much better to balance your business. 50% prospecting, 50% building or delegating, so that our product is getting built. And don't do just purely percentage based. Do the hybrid. Get a flat rate, get a percentage.
Good. Biggest surprise since joining Job Killing. Obviously, you've never done anything like this before, but biggest surprise from just the production side, or from the, from our end, that you would have not expected coming in.
Two big surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is I was really surprised at how approachable and you and Brad were when I did reach out to you guys with a question, or I ran into a snag or something like that. You guys are real people, and you actually genuinely want us to succeed. I was really blown away how you guys will support us. I was blown away that I could reach out to another student within Job Killing that's having success, and that they would actually, help me up the slope as well. That was a big surprise. I didn't expect as much help as I thought. I didn't expect that much help. But the other big surprise was, and it's it's ignorance to be surprised by what I'm about to say, but I was surprised at the money that I was going to have to continually pump into my business. I built out another website. Now I've got another $15 fee for web hosting and whatever. I was surprised by that, but that's very ignorant, because if you consider going out and buying that Subway, you would have had to purchase the building and the franchise for what? I think it's $210,000 that it costs to purchase a franchise. And that would have been all expected up front before you're ever going to make jack shit in that business. But I looked at it as, okay, I'm spending another $15 a month, and I'm buying another domain name. And these little expenses, you're broke, And so I was kind of surprised that, shit, now I have to spend money on influence. I need to spend money. But you know what? That's what pays the bills. People need to change their mindset about the monthly expenses. This is a small investment in your very large future. And you are so to have to cough up $210,000 to make some income.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's just from naive. It's just a lot of people have never ran businesses before. I've ran several businesses, from carpet cleaners to window tint businesses and whatever. And you don't really, we have it so good compared to a local business, that the people that you're selling to, the business owner that owns the limousine business who has $200,000 in fleet, or the auto glass guy who's got to stock an entire shop for every different vehicle, for the auto glass for 20 different years of vehicles, or whatever, the tools, the employees, the insurance that has to go through. Even if they didn't buy a franchise, when you think of, I got to spend $15 on a phone number and $9 on some Weebly hosting, and you spend 30, 40, $50 or whatever, and you're going, wow, this is a ton. It just sucks because when a lot of people get started, they're not in fantastic financial situations. So you got to suck it up, buttercup, obviously, and you got to freaking make it happen. But we do have it. We do have it good, right? I think we have it so good. I think that you made a really good point on just being naive to being a business owner. But the alternative to being a business owner is being a mortgage broker, where they are puppeteering you, and they can say, snip, you're gone. And now you're really up the creek without a freaking paddle, And that happened to me, that happened to you in different industries. And, I that was the point for me. I was like, I ain't doing this crap anymore. I'm going to go learn a skill. I obviously need different skills, because the skill that I have will only always let me work for someone else. So I have to be able to produce my own vehicle, my own product, and then I can use the skill of the sales that I've maybe learned over time, and I could sell my own product that I was able to produce. So I think these are really, really good takeaways for everyone listening in. I really appreciate you jumping on. We've been on for forever because we chatted before. And so thanks so much for taking so much time out of your day. And then secondly, congratulations on your freaking awesome deal you landed today right before this. That's awesome, and it's inspiring, and I think everyone will appreciate to see it. Everyone always tells me, they say, Dan, you only interview guys. And I'm like, well, I don't. I ask plenty of girls, but most girls won't ever get on camera with me. They're like, no, I can't do it, Dan. So I really appreciate you jumping on, because I do get a lot of requests. They're like, would you get on with another female? And I was like, sure, we got a lot of great female killers that are doing well. They just will never do case studies with me. They don't want to be on camera. So I appreciate you jumping on with me.
That's great. And as far as giving a little bit of feminine perspective, I'm a mother. I've got 2 kids that are in middle school. They're busy with sports. I've got a husband that works full time. We have 5 rental properties down in New Mexico in our own mortgage. So I have a really super busy life too. And you will just learn how to overcome the new obstacles that present themselves. My kids are home for the summer, so they want to be a constant distraction. Mom, can I do this? Can I get on my MP3? Can I do the tablet? Can I watch a movie? You know, you have to make it part of your business as a home-based business to make a routine for your kids, to keep them the hell out of your hair so you can have your work hat on.
I agree.
Because your mental attitude is different with business owners than it is with your little kid that's cute and up to that. And so I had to develop a system. I had to sit my kids down and say, look, you guys are home for the summer, but you have come into my home office. You need to pretend that mommy is not home right now. You don't come in here unless the house is on fire. I am working. You don't come in here and tell me sister touched me or blah, blah. I don't want to hear any of that. Mommy is working. Respect my time. If you come in and you bother me, I am going to send you out to weed the riding arena. And so you have to establish expectations. And you just have to run your business. Fight for your business. For our home-based mommies. It can be done. But you're going to have to get disciplined, and you're going to have to fight for this.
Great tips. Appreciate you staying on with me so long. No, it's awesome. It's great stuff. And it's so true, because I've sequestered myself. I actually ended up buying another house, and the house had to have an office so far away from the rest of the family. Yeah. And like we searched for so long for the house that we're in now, because I wanted it away where, you know, while I'm on a live stream, that Jeremiah can't just roll up and start playing music and dancing in my office, you know? So it's like, they know the rules too. And no, you make really good points, and this stuff's totally doable. It's just a matter of focus and putting your mind to it. And no matter if you have experience or not, I mean, it's just mind. I mean, man, if people can freaking fix people's hearts, you know, surely we can get up a website that generates leads for an auto glass company. I mean, for the love of God. I mean, this isn't rocket science, but it's going to take some work. It takes some effort, and you know, anyone can do it. And just congratulations on your success thus far, and upwards and onwards. All right.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. See ya.